Hello. Thanks for stopping by and welcome back to my channel. My name is Felix and today I'll be redesigning Valentino for the 5th episode of my Vietnamese Hazbin Hotel series. I'll put a link to the playlist in the description box, or you can check it out in the end card of this video. Now, let's get to the redesigns. Alright, Valentino, where do I start? Really, I genuinely do not know where I should begin because personally, Valentino's design never really have a huge problem with me. I guess he's just too plain. I mean, I can appreciate that his design is striking in the way that he's mainly a bright color, wears a fun hat, and has 4 arms. But that's it. I can't compliment him because he's so bland, and because of that blandness, I can't find a reason to shit on him either. Keep in mind that I'm only talking about his design. I know of his wrongdoings, but this video isn't about that, okay? Let's look at all this visual information objectively and have your discourse in the comments. Be my guest. Most I can complain about is his outfit being a costume instead of an actual garment 1970s pimps wear. But it's Vivian Madrano. How can we expect her to design historically accurate characters anymore? And when I say he's bland, I mean just look at his body type and face. He's just a tall skinny man without a nose. You see what I'm getting at? He doesn't even have anything unique to his face, not a distinct head shape, no markings, not even makeup. How am I supposed to believe this guy works in the film industry? Also, where the hell do his wings go when he closes them up? The anatomy is not anatoming. And don't you dare say it's a cartoon. There are videos talking about how to do cartoon anatomy. Look it up! So for my design, I'm giving him some details on his cheeks and I'm also giving him a buffer body. He's not as buff as Horse does, of course. He has a lean body. And speaking of horse dust, I should probably update this drawing now that I've gotten my own Valentino. Okay, getting back to the porn director man. In this Vietnamese rendition, he is a humanoid slug. Why is he a slug, you might ask? This is where I get into the inspirations I got and I'll be like educational and all. For his design, I was inspired by 2 characters in a Vietnamese literary work done by Nguyen Du called Truyện Kiều. Though the original title is Đoạn Trường Tân Thanh, we were taught bits and pieces of this literary work in secondary school and high school. And I'll be real with you, I did not enjoy it at all. Maybe it's the trauma of having to learn it by heart and regurgitate the poems as well as the analysis essays for exams, but my god, it is a horrible experience. As for the plot, you shouldn't trust me as your source of review because I never read the whole thing, but for what I've read, it's just bad. It's bad. The people who were saying it's a masterpiece are just merely good or only hyping up this hot garbage. If you're queer, liberal, or progressive in any sense, you're gonna hate it. I've expressed my disdain for this writing before and people just brush it off as it's old, it reflects the old views of society. If you're one of those people, this is for you. Ooh, shut up! And don't go defend it in the comments or just do it, I don't care. When you was just translating an existing Chinese piece of literature and take credit for it. It's giving plagiarism. Wow, I got a bit off track there. Anyways, the 2 characters I used as inspiration for Vietnamese Val are Sở Khanh and Tu Ba. He got his hairdo and clothes from Sở Khanh and species and height from Tu Ba. These are the lines that describe the 2 characters in story. Sở Khanh is a man described to be very well dressed and groomed, while Tu Ba is a huge woman with pale dead looking skin, overall having an intimidating yet gross appearance. I gave my Val slicked back hair to really push the cleanliness feel. Like, he used a lot of hair gel to keep his hair in place. You know? You know the vibe I'm getting at? And the phrase "Áo khăn dịu dàng" visualized to me a flowy, dreamy appeal. That's why I added the veil thingy to accompany his suit for the added flowiness. I know Tu Bai is supposed to give him the dead skin color, but I wanted to make him of a species that is considered gross. Now, I don't blame the slugs for being what they have to be. I'm just saying that they carry diseases and eat crops to destruction of harvest, so I thought it'd be fitting for Valentino's destructive role and terrible character. Both Sha Kan and Tu Ba are villains in the tale of Gil. Sha Kan catfished Gil and lured her into Tu Ba's brothel, where she will be mistreated by Tu Ba. I think Valentino can be a nicely wrapped 2-in-1 package of these two characters combined. I've seen that you're now halfway through the video. Thank you so very deeply for sticking with me. It would mean the world to me if you took a few seconds of your time to go like this video as well as subscribing. It helped motivate me deeply, as I actually don't receive any form of monetary gain from doing YouTube. I'd appreciate it a ton too if you could share this video to a friend. Now, without further ado, let's continue on with the rest of the video. Moving on to his color palette, in my last video, I said that all of my Vees would have a bit of yellow in their designs. And since slugs in Vietnam commonly have black skin, I originally wanted to give him that color as well. But my Velvet already has yellow and black as her thing, so I took another look at my inspiration, the tale of Gil. Tu Ba's brothel is called Lầu Ngưng Bích or Lầu Sun, which means the Jade Castle, and it helped me visualize Valentino's studio. Instead of being eye-bleedingly pink, it has a calming blue-green hue with golden decorations on every wall. I went online and searched for a color palette, and this one stuck with me. And now I know I've already redesigned the character with green as his signature color, but I have come up with a reason for this similarity lore-wise. So in my last video, I said all three of my Vees are in a relationship. With that established, only two characters are needed for this detail, Val and Vox. I don't like the idea of the radio silence ship at all, but I do find the theory that Vox is obsessed with Alistair due to reasons of envy and anger. It's pretty realistic and more relatable. So what does this have to do with Valentino? Well, as they gradually bond as partners, Vox had either convinced or even hypnotized Val to wear green so he could look like Alistair. He wouldn't tell Val that bluntly, but rather, green makes you look best or it's good for our image. For his outfits, I gave him áo viên lĩnh, a garment worn by Vietnamese men and also women from the 1500s, cause that is the time period Tale of Gil is set in. I originally wanted him to wear something from the 1800s, cause that was when Tale of Gil was published, but I've already had a character for that. Speaking of old-timey Vietnamese men's fashion, they used to have long hair as well, and while I did consider changing his hairstyle to a straight flowy long hair, I decided not to keep that change because it really blended him out to be just another handsome Asian man wearing his ethnic clothing. And for his suit look, well, how do I phrase this? I actually went online and searched for Vietnamese adult film directors to look for reference, and only this guy showed up, this Gangnam Style looking ass guy. He looks so basic. He looks just like Val, and I don't want that. So I guess I'll just do a little bit of alternating, get rid of his glasses and get rid of his undershirt to show off Val's chest. And for the appeal and all. And on the topic of handsomeness, take a wild guess which one of these are his eyes. It's the top pair. The pair on his face are actually tattooed on to give the illusion that he has a normal face. He also hides his tail and slug sensor tentacles for the same reason. He, as well as the rest of the Vees, put on a less alienated, less intimidating look when they're outside whilst wearing their traditional Vietnamese attire. Their more true-to-self outfits are worn indoors, i.e. Velvet's lingerie and Valentino's undershirtless look, so they can look empowered and dominant over their enslaved employees. You might have noticed that one of his eyes don't have eyelashes and his stem looks rather shriveled up. Well, it's because it's dead, and the eyeball is made of glass. In the show, Valentino has this weirdly shaped antenna, and people have speculated that it got damaged in the fight 7 years ago. And without both working antennas, he can't fly anymore. I'm restructuring that into his slug anatomy using the Valentino can't see shit gag instead. I know slugs can regenerate, but let's just say that Alistair's blow was so devastating he can no longer regrow his eye, leaving him to be permanently half blind. You might have also noticed that aside from being a slug, there's also another animal motif going on, and that is the peacock. Don't worry, there aren't Indo-Chinese peacocks. I'm still geographically accurate. You see how these feathers on a peacock's tail resemble eyes? Well, this version of Valentino does not mourn the loss of his left eye well, so it manifested into this crazy obsession over Peacock's eye pattern. He has it everywhere, a manual fan made out of peacock feathers, as a faint print on both of his outfits, and a bold print on his veil. He even has a peacock tattooed to his chest, and it glows. I'd like to imagine that in his past life he was just interested in birds in general, and this peacock craze only appeared 7 years ago when he lost his eye. And here's Vietnamese Valentino in all his glory. I'm so happy to be finished with this design as well as being able to show it off to you. If you found watching enjoyable as I did drawing, please like and share this video as well as commenting. It immensely helps motivate me to keep creating because again, my content are not monetized, so the best way to support me right now is to commission me. You'll get a drawing of your own. I have my Discord DMs open for that as well as my email. Thank you so much for stopping by and staying to the end. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you next time.